Welcome to From the Sands, the Cool Pick Show, where today we will be chatting with Haley Irwin from the Canadian Women's Hockey Team. And a quick shout out to our design team, Matt Creative and Matthew DeCastro, on all of their work as well. So we are just waiting to connect with Haley. Connecting. There we go. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Yeah. It's funny. I did an interview with Dan Shulman a little while ago, and he was on the computer as well. And I really wish that Instagram would allow Instagram Lives to work on a computer, because it would be so much better. I don't even want to show you my setup I have with my iPad, but it's crazy.
I just figured it was gonna be easier than trying to hold a phone, and it's where I've been doing all my work, so I thought it would be a little easier. But hey, live and learn. Who knew?
Here we are. How are things with hockey being stalled right now?
Yeah, things are. I mean, things are different. Things are constantly changing, but it's the same for everyone, and everyone's going through the same thing every day, kind of, and trying to figure out what their day looks like, or what changes are coming, and most importantly, just trying to keep everyone safe and healthy throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's the most important part of the whole of this COVID lifestyle, and hopefully, as the government announced today, for the most majority of the province, we're into phase 3 with the Greater Toronto area coming out in probably in about 2 weeks or so, depending on how numbers kind of stimulate over that time. But let's talk about some positive news about you and your hockey career. How did you where did the passion for you want to where did the passion come from for wanting to play hockey?
Um, I grew up in a small town, originally from Terrace Bay, and then we moved up to the big city of Thunder Bay. And it's just what my friends were doing. My older brother, that's what he was doing. My older sister played ringette, but still, at the arena. And I think for myself at a young age, it just started by probably just having to go to the arena because your older siblings are, and then just kind of falling in love with that and in that environment. And for me at the beginning, it was about getting to hang out with my friends, and that's I think where that passion originated.
Now, in 2005, you competed with the National Women's U18 Championships, and you ended up winning gold with the Ontario Red Squad. What was it like for you to kind of starting your career off with hockey there and winning a gold medal?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like step in the process of the bigger goal of representing Canada at the Olympics. So for me, to make that Team Ontario was a dream come true. It was something that I wanted to do, and was able to do it. And then for us to win it kind of seemed really crazy. And looking back, it was huge and such an awesome experience, and one I think that kind of gave me that experience going forward. And having played on, it was a big stage, we had lots of people in the stands, and I think it helped develop me as a player and as a person.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to get to the Olympics in a short little bit, because that obviously was a huge component of your career as well. But the success continued as you captained the undefeated Toronto Junior Arrows team. And my question around that was, how much work and dedication went into that season, where you, after every game, it's great to get a few wins under the belt, but to realize, guys, we have this many games left, we could potentially go undefeated. What was that feeling like in the locker room for that team?
I reminisce about that team a lot lately, because I'm still working with Ken Duffton, who was the coach at the time, and I'm still in contact with a lot of those girls. And I think for us, it started with the environment, and we played in an environment where, Ken, our coach, he pushed us. But as a group and the team, we were really close, and we supported each other. We had different goals, different dreams, but we supported one another. And at the end of the day, we showed up every single day. One, because it was fun and it was enjoyable. And two, we push each other to get better. And I think, the undefeated part, I think we didn't really talk about it that much. Instead, we just looked at it as, trying to win another hockey game, trying to win another tournament. And then as the season goes on, you start to get closer to the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, which is to win the provincials and to win the PWHA, championship. And so, it was quite a year and a memorable one. And I'm very proud to be a part of that, and a part of that team and the success we had.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique experience. Like just going to the rink is one thing, but getting to spend that quality time and that bonding time with your teammates is a whole other level. I know, like I just played ball hockey here in Durham, and it's always fun just to go talk the crap with the guys and like see how it's going and kind of see where our competitive spirits are at when we get onto the ice or onto the court. Now, in your career, you've been to 5 World Championships and 3 Olympic Games. During those 3 appearances in the Olympics, you won gold in 2010 in Vancouver, as well as 2014 in Sochi. Plus, you won silver in Pyeongchang. What's it like for you to get to represent Canada, but also represent Canada 3 separate times on the grandest stage?
It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's something that's really hard to probably put into words. It was a dream come true, and I think really special. And each one has a different journey, a different experience, different path to get there, and all are really special. And I feel incredibly grateful that I got that opportunity. Now that I'm retired, I get to reflect a whole lot more, and I just think it's super special that I got to be a part of those groups and a really small piece of that puzzle.
Now, looking back at the Vancouver games, those being your first ones, shout out to Laura Stacy, who's watching as well.
Big Stace.
How were you feeling not only going to the Olympics for your very first time, but getting to represent Canada on Canadian soil in Vancouver? What was the emotions like, and what was the mindset kind of going into those games for you?
I think every emotion possible goes through you. You're so excited. You're like screaming like a little kid. That's kind of what it is. You're the little kid inside of you that dreamt of that moment. That dream comes true, and it's absolutely incredible. And to share with your teammates, to watch them, receive their medal is so cool as well. And when you finally get your chance, just I don't think words can really put it, paint the picture, but absolutely incredible. So exciting, so happy to do it in Canada. Again, like I don't think I could have dreamt of that. I couldn't have written that story, but super cool, and the fans and the support and the job well done that Vancouver did. Just extremely grateful that I look back and I'm like, man, I was a part of that. Like that's pretty cool. So just really grateful when I reflect on that.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique experience being part of those games. I know for me, I wasn't able to get to the games during the actual Olympics, but my softball team with the Special Olympics ended up traveling out to Vancouver 4 years later in 2014 to compete at our first national title. And we toured around Vancouver, and we ended up seeing the Olympic torch and everything that they still had set up there. And it was really just cool to realize like how wicked of an opportunity this was, and for so many athletes to be part of that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vancouver, there'll always be a place there, for the Olympics. And it was, you still have the memories there, and they still have things there that when you visit the city, you get to feel, that atmosphere. And super awesome. Like Vancouver did an unbelievable job. And you can try and think of a million different words to describe it. And I don't know if there's one that can really pinpoint it except for just to put them all together, amazing, wicked, awesome, all of those things, and extremely proud to be Canadian.
One that comes to my mind is priceless, because it's a priceless opportunity and experience.
There you go. I love it.
So, now, as I mentioned, you were part of 5 World Championships, winning 1 gold and 4 silvers. What were those games like compared to the Olympics for you?
Yeah, I think for myself, I wish, would have liked to have won more golds. We fell short a few times, and, it was our goal to win. And so I think with, each tournament that maybe we won the silver, not the gold, we learned from it. We took the opportunity to grow from it and to continue on. And, would we like to string together some more gold medals in those world championships? Absolutely. But extremely grateful that I got to be a part of those teams, those experiences. It's a huge stage as well. The world championships are huge. They're incredible to be a part of. Exciting for Canada to be hosting coming up, and excited for the group going ahead, because I think it's time that, hopefully we start winning some more gold medals at world championships.
Yeah, definitely. It would be great to see, especially now with the National Women's Hockey League coming into the mix, the Toronto Six now having a team and everything as well. It's a unique experience for women's hockey that's truly growing and developing to where it should be now. Um, Now, a lot of people have those individuals in their lives that help them push this or get helped. Sorry, a lot of people in their lives have people that push them to succeed and kind of guide them on the right path. Did you have someone like that for you, both either on and off the ice? I know you mentioned your coach that you still work with today, but was there someone else as well that kind of helped you get to where you were?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that without my family, like, there's no story. There's nothing. So I'm extremely grateful that, they were extremely supportive. They're always in my corner. They're always your number one fan. You can play, I used to laugh with my mom, like, I could play the worst game of my life, and, she's still there to pick me up and drive me home, right? So, my family's a huge part of my success, and I owe them a lot. Like, I don't think I could ever repay them, but just extremely grateful that I had a family that loved and supported me through it all. And my brother and sister, huge supporters, and everything as well. And my mom, they're the ones that drive you to the rink at 6 in the morning for practices. They're the ones that change their budgets around, because hockey's expensive, and it costs them a lot of money. And so I sit here today knowing that without them, there's no story for me. This isn't possible, and I owe them a lot.
That's incredible. And yeah, everyone's going to have those people in their lives, but definitely our parents are their number one supporters for sure. Now, talking about the Canadian Women's Hockey League, I gotta read this because it's a bit of a back and forth. So you were selected in 2012 by the Brampton Thunder, where you then were relocated to Montreal and played for the Montreal Stars, where you got to play in the Calder Cup finals, or sorry, Clarkson Cup finals. You were then traded to the Calgary Inferno the following summer. What was that whole experience like for you during those short few years to switch between being selected to moving to Montreal, playing for them, and then being traded to Calgary?
I got traded a lot, eh? Jeez. I think for me, I had different experiences in the different cities, and I played in Montreal, and it was awesome. I got to play with incredible people. Beautiful city. At the end of the day, I think Calgary was a place that I needed to be, for different reasons. I had some family there, which, my sister lives there, and she's got two little ones, and I think that helped me. And being able to live in a city with some family, and play hockey and have the training that I needed and wanted. And so, yeah, I think it's super cool that I got to play in different cities and be a part of different organizations. And at the end of the day, I felt that Calgary was a place that felt like home to me. And then when it feels like home, I think training in the hockey part feels better.
Yeah, it's always that unique experience. Again, going back to our earlier talk about just being able to bond with the players that you're going onto the ice with, and making sure that you feel comfortable, making sure that the passes are the right ones to the right people and things like that, and just having that chemistry right off the bat. Now, we had a fan question coming in, and with everything happening with the NHL and the Olympics being postponed and everything as well, but then also to the talks around NHL players competing at the Olympics, what are your thoughts on if NHL players should be allowed to compete at the Olympics or not?
I think they should be able to. I think, you know, I don't really know why there's been a yes or no on that. For me, I think it's just about athletes trying to compete in whatever sport that they're in. Because they play professionally, I don't think they should be held out of the Olympics, which is the biggest stage that you can play on. So I hope that they continue to work towards that agreement. I also think it was super, cool for the last Olympics for players that don't necessarily play in the NHL that, they were made up Team Canada. I think they did an amazing job representing Canada. Extremely proud of what they accomplished. I would just, I like the idea that whether you're playing professional or not, that if you have the opportunity to represent your sport in the Olympics, clean sport, that you should be able to do so.
Yeah, because the Olympics, as everyone knows, is every 4 years. So you don't know where that 4 year span is going to go to. Where even if you play and you miss out on 1 year, it's like, okay, will I be able, if I'm retired from the NHL, will I still be able to compete? You just don't know, right? So you definitely want to be able to represent your Canada or your country proudly, and have that opportunity for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, out of all of the games that you've played in and all of the places that you've played, like between all your Olympic games, World Championships, things like that, what was the biggest highlight for you for your career and like favorite place to play?
Ooh, I think I've been very fortunate that I've been able to play in a lot of different places, different arenas, different cities, different countries, kind of everywhere, and different stories everywhere as well, different memories. But I have to go with Vancouver.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, to play in front of Canadians and to look around and see red and white everywhere, and to know that everyone, wants the same thing that you want. Everyone wanted a gold medal in that moment. And so to play in front of that crowd that was so supportive, so loud, they were an extra player for us. I don't know. So far, nothing has topped that. So Vancouver is definitely, got a special place in my heart for favorite places to play.
That's incredible. And yeah, it's again your first Olympics, first gold medal, huge accomplishment there. So yeah, I could definitely see that being the top choice for sure. Now, talking about off the ice and your retirement, you just recently announced your retirement from the sport, but you're not quite away from the sport, as you know, most hockey players can't get away from the rink that easily. You now work with the Ryerson Rams as an assistant coach, correct?
That's correct.
What was the decision behind your retirement and then transitioning to now coaching the younger generation?
Yeah, I think with retirement, I looked at a few different things: mental, physical, emotional, where I was at, and what I felt I could still give, if anything. And I just felt like I was in a position where um, I got to do more, and I think succeeded more than I dreamt of, to be honest. I dreamt of maybe one Olympics. So to be able to do it multiple times, I felt that I'd given the sport as a player everything that I could give. I didn't think that, moving forward, I could give anything more. And so I was at a place where I was really, truly deep down happy with everything. And so for me, I was like, okay, what's the next chapter? Because as female hockey players, we need to look at that next career. Um, I didn't play professionally in terms of getting a paycheck. So now it's about looking at what that next step is. And to stay in the game kind of seems like the easy transition. It hasn't been easy. It's had its ups and downs for sure, just in terms of accepting the retirement a little bit. You have your days where you're like, oh, man, like I really am retired. And yet there's days too where I'm super excited to go to the rink to coach and, to share my knowledge. And that's, I think, what it comes down to is I love hockey. I'm passionate about it. I still want to be involved in some way, no longer as a player. So for me, that's coaching. And, I want to just help others succeed in their goals, whether it's on the ice, off the ice, a combination of both. And, someone once passed along their knowledge to me, and now it's my turn.
Now, talking about that knowledge and that sharing of words of wisdom, what kind of words of wisdom would you have today to any younger girls watching that may want to get into hockey and dream of eventually reaching the Olympics on a hockey team?
I think it starts with a dream. Dream really big. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't make it. And you're gonna have your ups and downs, and that's okay. I think it's about showing up every day with a smile on your face, loving what you do, and with the intent to get better. And I think if you can put all those together in one day, then you're going to have a great career. And, you know, it does start with a big dream. So to all the little girls out there that want to play hockey, boys out there, whatever it might be, it might not even be hockey. It might start as hockey and turn into something. I think it's about dreaming big and showing up every day with the intent to make yourself better and those around you better. Be kind to everyone as well.
Words of wisdom from Haley Irwin. Hopefully we get to see you on the ice sooner than later. Obviously, I've been watching and I've kind of been involved in everything that's happening with COVID and the postponement of the sports until at least January with universities. Because I have a bunch of friends on the Ontario Tech women's hockey team. Shout out to them. So
hey, they're all rivalry.
hey, that's what makes it even better, having those fun rivalries. And
That's right.
hopefully we will be able to see you again sooner than later. And I'll make sure to mark it on my calendar when Ryerson comes out to Oshawa and for a visit or for a game. So
Awesome.
thank you again, Haley, for taking the time, and all the best with the future. And congratulations again on all the achievements, because it's so well deserved. And yeah, kudos to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan, for having me. It's been fun.
No problem. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
See ya.
Bye.